the usual suspects, I'll call them on the left in the media, is just, again, not looking in the mirror. It did
no, they
not,
think
it
they
did
didn't
not,
call him Hitler loudly enough.
Or that just a lot of people texted me things like, well, you can't fix stupid. Sorry, that doesn't work with me. Yeah, you're stupid because you're not thinking about the bigger picture. You're not thinking about maybe we did something wrong. Maybe we're not perfect. America dumped you, and they're all like, you don't know what you had.
No, it's
yes,
worse.
they do. They know what they had. And what they're saying is, we know what we had, and you're a mess.
That's a surprisingly clear-headed post-election Bill Maher realizing what the left should have realized after their loss in 2016, that maybe, just maybe, the country is trying to tell them something, and it might be a good idea for the left to have a little humility for a change. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and it looks like Bill Maher is living up to his word that he won't lose his mind and crumble into hysterics about Trump winning the election this time. Because instead of attacking the right, Maher devoted a sizable portion of his post-election show to attacking echo chambers on the left.
I saw Kamala was on Saturday Night Live, as the losing candidate often is. It worked so well for Hillary. Let's run that back. And it just made me think. I'm sure every single member of the Saturday Night Live cast was a Harris supporter. But what if one of them wasn't? What if one of those cast members was for Trump? Would they have felt comfortable saying so? I really don't think so. They would have had to keep it to themselves. That's not a good place for us to be. I remember when, and that happens even more on the left. And I remember when Elon Musk hosted, and this is well before he was a Trumper. This is 3 or 4 years. He was just the richest man in the world. And a number of the cast members on Saturday Night Live, they didn't want to deal with him. They didn't exactly boycott, but they made it plain. And I was thinking, really? You have Elon Musk on your show for a week. You could talk to one of the most interesting, brilliant people the world has ever produced, even about this issue that bothers you so much, that he's so rich and lots of people aren't. But no, you don't want to even deal with him. That's what I hate about the left. You're brats. You're brats and you're snobs, and people don't like that.
Now, of course, Maher's right here. I mean, the very next night on SNL, the cast did a cringy cold open about, you guessed it, Orange Man bad. Because apparently America hasn't heard the authoritarian message repackaged 8,000 times from various legacy media hacks over the past 8 years. But on the bright side, this did underscore exactly what Maher's talking about when he said there's no introspection coming from the left. A point that didn't seem to go over too well with the MSNBC shill on his panel that night.
You and I will have to just respectfully disagree. I think if we've never presidential candidates talking about people getting shot in a
of course
he called for a military tribunal against her.
It's
like again, he might not do it, but you don't want to normalize the notion that that's the kind of language.
That's what he talked about.
That's the kind of language that we want to have.
No, but that wasn't. But this is the problem with. I'm sorry, the far left, is that.
I'm not on the far left, but I don't think we should have presidential candidates
you're not
talking
going to
that
drag
way.
me into Trump derangement syndrome. It's not deranged to be upset and worried about the real things, like he could be a fascist. He wants to be. But if you're going to think I'm going to chase every rabbit down the hole for the next wait a second, for the next 4 years, you're wrong. I'm not going to.
I'm not telling you what to do for the next.
That's who he is. No, I'm just telling you. I did this once. I'm not going to do it again. That's who he is.
Okay.
If he talks about Arnold Palmer's dick, or he makes it, or he says a bad word, or says something that everybody thinks like there are shithole countries, I'm not going to lose my shit about it. I'm just not, because that is deranged. That's who he is.
Sure.
He may have been nearly a decade late to the game, but kudos to Bill for starting to acknowledge that establishment media has been distorting everything about Trump to stir up hysteria. I mean, it's honestly kind of impressive how deluded pretend journalists like John Heilemann are. First, the guy tries to act like he's a run-of-the-mill liberal while working at MSNBC, then he pushes the Liz Cheney hoax and tries to drag Maher and his viewers back into the Trump derangement syndrome bandwagon. Russell Brand recently made a good point about how this election is actually a battle between old and new media. And at this point, people like that MSNBC hack know they're on the losing side and have nothing left to offer beyond giving people imaginary diseases so they can try to sell them the cure. But let me know what you think. How long will Maher last before he relapses and starts overreacting to everything Trump says and does again? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!